Once the most exciting shortcut to WWE Championship glory, now a gimmick that's lost its magic. Money in the Bank used to be must-see. Careers were made, moments were legendary, but somewhere along the way, WWE dropped the briefcase. From failed cash-ins to questionable winners, I'm breaking down how WWE ruined Money in the Bank. Before we get into it, make sure you subscribe to the channel for more wrestling content. Money in the Bank used to be a guaranteed elevation. Edge cashed in and became the ultimate opportunist. CM Punk did it back-to-back and launched a career that eventually led to the infamous pipe bomb. Seth Rollins cashed in at WrestleMania in one of the most iconic finishes in company history. And for years, just having the briefcase made a superstar feel dangerous. You never knew when they'd strike. The match itself had a mystique to it. It wasn't just a ladder match, it was a turning point, but somewhere along the way, WWE lost the plot. The first sign of trouble was when WWE started handing the briefcase to people with no clear plan. Instead of using it to elevate talent who needed that final push, it became a yearly obligation. Like, well, someone's gotta win it. And instead of that win launching a career, it started becoming pointless. Otis is one of the most obvious examples. He won in 2020, which shocked everyone, but then WWE had no idea what to do with him. He never felt like a serious threat to any champion, and eventually, they just had him lose the briefcase in a random match. No cash-in, no moment, a complete waste. And he's not alone. Austin Theory's run with the briefcase in 2022 was practically a parody of what Money in the Bank is supposed to be. He spent months being humiliated on TV, losing constantly, and looking like anything but a future world champion. Then, when WWE finally pulled the trigger on his cash-in, it wasn't even on a world title. He cashed in on the United States Championship. That was the moment the briefcase officially lost all its prestige. If a superstar is using the golden ticket, historically reserved for game-changing, career-defining world title moments, to go after a mid-card belt, what are we even doing? It turned the entire concept into a joke. The Money in the Bank briefcase is supposed to elevate someone to the top, not shuffle them around the middle of the card. And it didn't stop there. Just last year, Drew McIntyre won the briefcase, and instead of it leading to championship run, WWE used the cash-in to further a feud with CM Punk when he failed his cash-in. That's it. No grand payoff, no massive title shift, just another chapter in someone else's story. When the briefcase exists solely to service a storyline, rather than build a new star or create a shocking moment, it defeats its entire purpose. These failed or forgettable cash-ins haven't just hurt the individuals involved, they've eroded the legacy of Money in the Bank itself. But failed cash-ins are just one part of the problem. WWE has a bad habit now of cashing in the briefcase immediately, sometimes the same night it's won. When Liv Morgan won in 2022 and cashed in later that night, it got a huge pop. Bayley did the same in 2019, but when you do it over and over again, it kills the whole point of the briefcase. There's no build-up, no tension, no storytelling, just win the match, cash in, and move on. It's instant gratification that gets a reaction in the moment but has no long-term impact. What made the briefcase dangerous wasn't just the fact that it guaranteed a title shot, it was the unknown, that lurking sense that at any time the champion could be vulnerable. That suspense kept viewers glued to the product. Today, most briefcase holders don't even get that chance. Either they're rarely on TV or they don't interact with the champion at all. It feels like WWE doesn't know what to do with the briefcase once someone wins it. They just stall until a random night, then pull the trigger without any real emotional payoff. Or worse, the holder feels completely useless during their reign. Take Tiffany Stratton, for example. Her time as Miss Money in the Bank was booked so poorly that she came off as clueless and completely out of place at the top of the division. She was losing match after match, with no momentum, and never once looked like a legitimate threat to cash in. If anything, the briefcase exposed how unready she was, instead of elevating her to the next level. That's the exact opposite of what this opportunity is supposed to do. And if we're being honest, the women's side hasn't been much better. WWE made history by introducing the Women's Money in the Bank in 2017, and while the intent was great, the execution has been lazy. Nearly every female briefcase holder has cashed in within 24 hours. There's been almost no long-term storytelling, no suspense, and no chance to build a serious threat. Instead of using the women's briefcase to craft a compelling rise to the top, WWE has reduced it to a cheap shortcut. Win the match, cash in tonight, and call it a day. Even when the briefcase is used successfully, WWE still drops the ball. Look at Big E. His cash-in was emotional and well-received, but his actual reign, short, rushed, and cut off before it could truly mean something. To make things worse, the match itself has lost its magic too. It's no longer a show stealer. It's a predictable event where we know two people will win briefcases, and odds are at least one of them will be irrelevant within weeks. The ladder spots are still wild, the visuals are still great, but the stakes, practically non-existent. What do you think? Has Money in the Bank lost its glory? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more wrestling content. Thanks for watching.